Homelessness isn't a personal failure. It stems from systemic issues. Dr. Stacia West, a leading poverty researcher, highlights what keeps people housed and how programs like Abode's Rapid Rehousing Cash Assistance program, RCAP, help families overcome the factors that trap them in poverty.
If we look at the primary causes of homelessness across the country, what we can clearly see, and we have known for decades, is this is not an individual moral failure where individuals are choosing that they would like to be unhoused. What we see instead are a system of policies and practices that have been enacted from the federal to local levels that do not afford most individuals or many individuals a place to live, right? It is no secret that all across the country, the cost of a two-bedroom apartment, even at an affordable rate, far or exceeds what one can make working a full-time job at minimum wage, right? So just looking at those numbers, it's clear that we have a policy mismatch with reality, right? And so our sort of digging our heels in and hoping decade after decade that only asking people to work more without having complementary supports in the form of affordable housing has left us in this place where homelessness appears to be growing over the past several years.
When wages can't keep up with rising living costs, maintaining housing becomes difficult. Once someone loses housing, things like credit checks, rental history, first month's rent, deposits, and moving costs make it even harder to recover.
There are a lot of factors that make the Bay Area unique whenever we think about housing affordability and homelessness. So certainly there are organizations that have been absolutely innovative in their approach to homelessness alleviation. At the same time, it's an area where the cost of housing far outstrips what many people are able to make from a full-time paid position. So we have these two sort of strands operating at the same time, where there's incredible effort to try new and innovative ways like cash transfers to potentially mitigate homelessness, at the same time that we see the sort of overreach of private equity in housing development and a retrenchment of public funding from the federal level is making it difficult to keep up with these numbers. Those that are without housing are those that are blamed, right? So we don't put the same sort of stigma and blame on those individuals that are profiting, right, from making housing unaffordable for too many.
Rapid rehousing programs help families in crisis, but understanding factors that endanger housing stability can clarify why cash assistance programs are critical to bridge the gap.
So we know that individuals that are lower income are at higher risk of what is called income volatility. So that is the month-over-month fluctuation in income, right, and expenses. And so whenever someone gets into affordable housing, that is wonderful, even more so if it is subsidized or rent controlled, so that it remains affordable for them over a long period of time. That's what we want to see, is that longer housing tenure. But we also know that things like a car breakdown can have a cascading, rippling negative effect on a person's life that can impact their ability to make it to medical appointments or to make it to a job interview or their regularly scheduled kind of part-time or full-time work. So where cash can slot into this and help people maintain permanency is just in the flexibility, right? If your car breaks down, you might be able to use that unconditional cash for a repair. If you have some sort of drop in income because you've been laid off for a period of time, that could threaten your housing. And so guaranteed income or unconditional cash can come in as a stopgap and help you maintain that sort of stability.
Cash assistance programs are proven solutions to poverty reduction and homelessness alleviation. But aside from the data, keeping people housed is the right thing to do.
I come at this from a philosophical foundation of, no human should be denied the ability to have a safe and permanent home, and that your performance in the labor market should not really determine whether or not you are deserving of that home, right? It is because you are human, you are one of our neighbors, and you are part of our community that you should not be raising your children in a car.